Okay, so the Nasdaq rallied back into that 1900 area. We talked about that yesterday afternoon towards the close. Okay, we saw this pennant right here broke out, moved into a 127 projection, and now kind of watching the swing high right here at 16s, cropping that wick right there that popped to 1927s. Okay, so here's X down to A, symmetrical double bottom. This is where the S&P tested the 1496s. We saw the retracement into 1900s yesterday. Point of confluence, I took the swing high right there down to the lows. It's a 618 retracement of that level. I took the swing high here prior to those lows, and it's a 786 of that move. So we have a nice little point of confluence right there on the fibs for the initial retracement. Now we'll see if we get a little pullback right here for the B to C leg, followed by a potential C to D rally into 1910s or higher for the pattern sell. Okay, so right now Nasdaq aggressive sells against 1900, stops at 0850s, and then initial targets back down into the 1880s. So you see there about 8 points of exposure right now against this nice significant resistance point. We have structure relevance looking left, and then 1881 right down here would be the target for about 20 points if we get it back into the 1900s. Now intraday we have a previous close at 1901, so a rally back into that area would be a gap fill and then fade that gap fill. Okay, let's go take a look at Dow Jones. Dow watching for that one-to-one measured move. Okay, so yesterday we discussed the 13405s, 402s right there. Market pulled down into the 402. So any swing long entries right there tagged, then rallied into the highs of the session, closed it near the resistance 1 pivot intraday and previous structure resistance. Okay, so still kind of watching a one-to-one measured move on the the Dow Jones. Potential press into the 560s. Now, yesterday intraday, that market fulfilled 110% ATR. Okay, so now let's look at the right side. You see how the 618 was present here. So I want to take the swing low right here, the last low that occurred prior to this high, and you can see the 618 over here at 450s. Okay, so again, two different stop placements. Yesterday intraday, we discussed stops below swing lows as that market rallied. Okay, but with this right here, opportunity to keep stops down here for a bigger swing play. News events out today could easily take us bullish and then press into the 13.6s for a nice extended target. Okay, so let's look at swing trade stops. Wider stops down below the 618 retracement here, 13,448s. Give this guy opportunity to pull back, little intraday volatility prior to the news event. And then we've got a 9 o'clock number and 11 o'clock. Bullish reaction to that should easily go tag the 600s today. Okay, so Dow Jones. And then again, some of you took profits yesterday as that intraday SOS sell set up. So you used the counter trend trade to cover and then roll short. And then obviously it just rolled into the market close sideways. ABM7, Mini Russell. 3 key levels of support and resistance. We got the outside return yesterday. Market rallied into the close right at that 821, 822 zone. Previous structure support right here. Anticipated resistance with a 50% retracement. So we've been kind of watching that pattern set up. So we've got our swing highs at X down to the lows at A. Outside return A to B. There's the retracement. Just shy of the 618. So with that, we can also take a look at now a potential 222 setting up. So we want to note now the swing lows at A to the highs at B. Okay, two different measurements. Right here, we want to look at the retracement, which would pull back into a long entry at around 814.20s. That'd be the aggressive bid at C. Okay, stops have to go below the swing lows down here. That low comes in at 811.80, so probably an 810.90 stop. Okay, now remember, we've got back-to-back numbers down there at 811 and 810 for structure support in the Russell. Okay, so let's go ahead and drop in this leg. If the market pulls back into here, then rallies, we'll copy-paste. There's the AB equals CD move into the 707 retracement. So we'll edit this out right here. Okay, so there's a one-to-one measured move into a 707 retracement. Now let's also run the projection There's the low at A, drag up to the swing high at B, pull it back down, and you can see there beautiful Ratian confluence, 825 area with a nice AB equals CD pattern completion. Now again, this is an if-then thought process. This is conditional. We've got leg 1, X to A done, leg 2, A to B done, and now we're looking for this guy to pull back and show us the reversal point. If it only pulls into the 382, then obviously we lose our ABCD, but we still have that Ratian confluence right there at 825. Okay, so if you're looking at the 814s with a stop below 811, then there are 3.5 to 4 points of exposure. Initial target back into the 821.22 provides 7 to 8 points of opportunity, and then the extended target at 825 plus 11. So easily produce a 1 to 1.5 or better risk profile in the Russell. And then finally, S&P 500. Okay, we didn't get back into this 127 projection for the bid, so we'll get rid of this guy. Noted that 15-15 sell right there that Lenore found last week. That pulled back into the scalpers. Balance taken out on the trail. And now you can see here we got the good old sideways trade. Okay, so again, some of you are just pounding this 15-18 level on the sell side. And right there's your channel. Identify the sideways trade. Predict the market will remain in the sideways channel. Decide what model works best for those conditions. Execute with repetition and consistency.